It was almost midnight when Sofia quietly slipped her last suitcase into the back of a taxi. The city outside the penthouse glittered as if mocking her, mocking the fact that after 2 years of being with Adrian Blake, the most powerful CEO in the city, she was leaving with nothing but her clothes and the broken pieces of her heart. Adrian didn't even know she was going. Not because she hadn't tried to tell him, but because telling him felt impossible. For 2 years, she had been his secret. No one knew about her. Not the media, not his family, not even his closest friends. She was the woman in the shadows, the one who warmed his bed at night but vanished from sight whenever someone important came around. She met Adrian when she was 22, working as a waitress at a hotel event. He was 32 then, already a legend in the corporate world, confident, cold, and breathtakingly handsome. One careless smile from him and she was gone, pulled into his orbit before she even realized it. But the smile didn't mean she was his. Not truly. Her phone buzzed with one last message from him that evening. Greater than Adrian, I'll be home late. Don't wait up. It was always like that. He was always late. Always busy. Sofia knew better now. The problem wasn't that he didn't have time for her. The problem was that he didn't think she deserved a place in his real life. She stared out the taxi window, whispering to herself, it's time. She had tried for 2 years, hoping he would love her enough to fight for her. But she was still the hidden girl, the one he never introduced, the one whose name was never spoken. And what hurt most, was knowing she had given him everything. Adrian came home around 2 a.m., exhausted from a merger meeting that had run late. He loosened his tie, already anticipating the comfort of finding Sofia curled up in bed, waiting for him. She always waited, no matter the hour. But when he opened the bedroom door, the bed was cold. Her clothes were gone. The perfume she always wore lingered faintly in the air, already fading. And on the nightstand, there was a single envelope. His chest tightened. He tore it open. Greater than Adrian, I can't do this anymore. I love you, but I can't live like I don't exist. You told me once that I was yours, but only when no one was watching. I want to be loved in the daylight. Goodbye, Sofia. He stood there for a long time, the letter trembling in his hands. For years, he had thought keeping her a secret was protecting her, from the ruthless press, from his family's judgment, from the chaos of his life. But now she was gone. Weeks turned into months. Adrian told himself she'd come back. She always did. But this time, she didn't. Every day, he found himself reaching for his phone, typing her name, then deleting it. He could buy anything in the world, but he couldn't buy her forgiveness. It was during one of his routine health checkups that the doctor gave him unexpected news. Greater than, your condition is worsening, Mr. Blake, the doctor said gravely. The treatment isn't enough anymore. We need to find something, or someone, that can help regulate your episodes. Adrian frowned. Episodes. The doctor nodded. The anxiety spikes, the insomnia, the heart palpitations, they're not purely physical. They're emotional. When you were last here 2 years ago, you were in surprisingly good health. I suspect that has something to do with who you were with then. And that's when it hit him, the timing. 2 years ago, he had met Sofia. For 2 years, he had slept better, laughed more, felt calmer than ever before. And since she left, everything had started to unravel. Greater than, you're saying, she was my cure. Adrian's voice was low, almost dangerous. The doctor sighed. Sometimes, people can be medicine. You need her, more than you think. Adrian left the clinic with a decision burning in his mind. He had let her go once. He wasn't going to make that mistake again. It took Adrian 6 months to track her down. Sofia had changed her number, moved to a small coastal town, and taken a job at a bookstore. She was living quietly, away from the noise of the city, and away from him. The first time he saw her again, she was laughing with an elderly customer, handing over a book wrapped in brown paper. Her hair was a little longer, her face softer, but the sight of her made his chest ache. He waited until she stepped outside on her lunch break. When she saw him leaning against the lamppost, her smile faded instantly. Adrian, she said, her voice flat. What are you doing here? I came to take you home, he said simply. Her laugh was bitter. I'm not your secret anymore. You can't just snap your fingers and. I was wrong. His voice cracked, something she'd never heard before. I thought keeping you hidden was protecting you. But I was protecting myself. From losing you. From admitting that you're everything. Don't, she whispered, her eyes bright with unshed tears. Don't say things you don't mean. I mean every word. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. The truth is, Sofia, without you, I'm falling apart. I've tried to live without you, but I can't. You're not just the woman I love, you're the only cure I have. Her heart twisted painfully. You can't just come back and expect me to. I don't expect, he interrupted. I'm here to prove it. No more secrets. No more hiding. I want the world to know you're mine. If you'll let me. Sofia searched his face for a lie, but all she saw was the man she had once fallen in love with, stripped of his pride, standing vulnerable in front of her. It didn't happen instantly. Adrian stayed in that town for weeks, visiting the bookstore, helping her close up shop, walking her home. He learned her favorite tea again, listened to her stories, and never once pushed for more than she was ready to give. One evening, as they stood on the pier watching the sunset, she finally spoke. You hurt me, Adrian. More than I thought possible. I know, he said quietly. But I never stopped loving you. The relief that washed over him was visible. He took her hand, holding it like it was the most fragile thing in the world. Then let me spend the rest of my life making sure you never feel invisible again. For the first time in 2 years, she let herself lean into him, feeling the steady beat of his heart, the same heart that, somehow, only she could heal. And this time, there were no secrets. Only daylight.